This is an auxiliary cable for an iPhone. Okay, coming in from Amazon is a little cable from UNOOE. UNOOE. We'll go with that. A slightly unpronounceable word here, but this is effectively an auxiliary audio cable for car and iPad or iPhone. It's easier to explain whenever I take it out of the packaging. Very simple packaging that merely has a barcode on the back, and it's just a bag. We've got an elastic band around it, so it's a coiled cable, which is sometimes useful, sometimes not. I prefer a straight cable because you can at least tack that down if you're putting it in the car. And on one end we have a 3-pole 3.5mm headphone jack, and on the other we have a lightning cable. So the idea is, I'm going to replicate it pretending this. There's a stain on the front of my speaker. I do apologise. Using this speaker as our car stereo, because it has on the side of it
pairing mode, waiting for device to connect.
Oh yeah.
Pairing mode, waiting for device to connect.
Okay, so we have an auxiliary on the side, which is a bit like somewhere on your car if you have a new enough car, and we plug that into there, and then this bit in here like so. So we have that popping out of there. So theoretically we should be able to go to a particular video, in this case a Home Hub unboxing video from myself. Okay, so as it turns out, I hadn't put that in fully properly at all, and I still haven't worked out what the suspicious stain is on the front of the stereo, but there will be heads rolling by the end of the night. Alright, coming in from Google is Home Hub. Okay, that appears to be as loud as it'll go. Activated digital assistant that allows you to do all kinds of things around the house and in the kitchen. Well, I guess the kitchen's in them. And that's about what it does. It merely carries audio. It doesn't actually charge your iPad. I'm sitting on 7% here. However, it does deliver sound very simply from your lightning connector to whatever it is you want to put sound into. If you were to use this in a car, it would be very similar. You just basically plug that into the bottom of your iPhone. When it comes to the cable itself, the most important parts are
pairing mode, waiting for device to connect.
The build quality itself. So here we can see we have a fairly decent looking connector around here. It's fairly solid plastic. That will bend if I put too much pressure on it. That's for sure. Then there's a small amount of plastic just down here before we get to the actual rubber cable, which is a very, very standard type of cable. I wouldn't say that this is going to last until the end of time, but it will take a few decent insertions and bends and things like that. You can see there that there is 2 layers of plastic in there. It's not fully formed. This is a sheath that fits over the top, and on the front there we have another layer of plastic in behind there. Okay, so it comes down to the coil, where there is a decent amount. It stretches out to about a meter. There is a kink in it from where it was folded. Can't do much about that. And then round to this end we have the 3.5, which as I said before is 2-pole, but it looks to be a fairly sturdy one. This little unit here does look to be a nice kind of right angle fold. Putting some pressure on it, it doesn't move too easily. Not that I want to try and break it too hard, but this black, it's almost like a canister, fits in over the top of it, and it actually it looks decent enough. This would probably be, if you were using it in a car, permanently fixed into your auxiliary, and thankfully it's a Well, for some people, a right angle is going to suit them best. Others, straight out might be better suited, and I'm sure there are other options available depending on what you need. That brings us back to the coil, which is not my ideal type of cable, but for some people it can be, and it works quite well. I prefer flat and straight. So all in, it costs $9.99 on Amazon currently. If it's what you need, then I guess you pick it up. Being an Apple accessory, they can range in price, and for $9.99 this does seem to be a little higher quality than what you might get off a market stall or from eBay. But still, you're paying a premium, so you want this to be the highest quality possible, especially for $9.99, especially when it comes to a small cable. And I believe that it is very high quality. It could have metal round here, and it could have a wee bit more reinforcement down the wires. But then it depends on what you're using it for. If you're taking it with you, if you're throwing it in a bag and using it all the time, then yes, you're going to need extra reinforcement. But for a standard installation on a car or something like that, this will do very well. It's a decent enough cable. So if you have any questions or want to know any links of where to get them, you can have a look in the notes down below. Hit that subscribe button and give us a wee thumbs up if you fancy. And other than that, take care.